Hi there and welcome back to Top End Track Talk. Andrew O'Toole with you again for the first Track Talk since Carnival time. And today we'll be previewing this coming Saturday's meeting here at Fanny Bay, which is Saturday the 5th of October. The hiatus with Track Talk has been due to only the one meeting in August post-Carnival, and I've been away on leave for the month of September. So definitely looking forward to getting back amongst the winners on Saturday. The first of the 6 races carded this weekend is the Vale Philip Carroll Handicap, the first division of the Benchmark 54 1300. The industry lost a hard-working steward and a good friend to all when Phil passed away suddenly just a few weeks ago, and this race is named in his honour. In the first, time to go at 2:12 p.m. My numbers are 5, 6 and 1. Number 5 on top for me, Extreme Emotion, trained by Gary Clark and Jared Todd in the saddle. A last start winner here on the 21st of September. Saw the video of that race and the horse won well. That came after a good second behind Yaki Ishi here on the 31st of August. So racing well, Extreme Emotion. The 1300 metres should suit. His last 4 runs have been over the same trip. Drawn 5 and looking to continue the good run from the Clark stable. I think they've won 3 races at the last meeting and 4 the previous meeting, so they're in good form. So we're going with number 5 on top, Extreme Emotion. To beat number 6, Kessler, Vanessa Arnott for Angie Forster. Good second 2 starts back. That was on the 31st of August behind Debating. Then last time out behind Extreme Emotion was beaten about 8 lengths on that occasion, but prepared to allow it another chance, Kessler, in a race of this nature. And in for third, number 1, American Jazz, the stablemate of Extreme Emotion. Aaron Sweeney aboard for Clarkey. He hasn't been racing at his best, American Jazz, but he's always capable, and certainly in a race like this, a Benchmark 54, he's way back in grade. He must be considered. My numbers in the first are 5, 6 and 1. The second's the Ladbrokes Cox Plate Day on the 26th of October handicap. This, the second division of the Benchmark 54 1300. Numbers here are 3, 1 and 6. Tricky Mickey for me, Phil Cole the trainer, and Dakota Gillette. Visiting from Alice Springs. Dakota's been on the sidelines through an enforced layoff after a suspension incurred in Queensland, but she's back. This is her first day back riding, and she's got a good book of rides here in Darwin. Tricky Mickey, only the 2 starts in Darwin to date, for a second behind Siberian Larch, then a third to Changes Coming. That was a fortnight ago. That was a really good run in a 64, so another horse back in grade and gets its chance, I think, here, Tricky Mickey, to break through. Number 3, ahead of number 1, Ankle Rolex, the last start winner. Paddy Johnson trains. Hannah LeBlanc visiting again from Victoria. That last start win was the 31st of August, so it hasn't raced for 5 weeks, but I'm sure Paddy will have Ankle Rolex right up to the mark here. Drawn barrier 6 from the 1300, that should suit, and look to Ankle Rolex to go forward and be very hard to run down. In for third, number 6, To The Point. Chloe Baxter, the trainer, Jared Todd in the saddle. Been racing consistently without a lot of luck. To The Point. Placings behind Collison, Debating, Extreme Emotion at his last 3, and he gets another ideal opportunity here. So numbers in the second are 3, 1 and 6. The third is the Tab Bets Friends Handicap. This also over the 1300 metres. It's for the 0 to 70 gallopers. My numbers here are 11, 2 and 3. I thought number 11, Zoo Mist, would be hard to beat here. Sonia Logan aboard for Angela Forster. Last 3 starts, a second, a third, then another second behind some smart horses, Lucky Fortuna, Pompey Empire and Changes Coming. Another horse that hasn't had a great deal of fortune in her recent racing, the 7-year-old mare. So with even luck, drawn out a little bit from barrier 9, but will probably come in a couple. So should go from about barrier 7, and I think will take plenty of beating here. Zoo Mist, number 11. Ahead of number 2, Canton Kid, racing well for Lisa Whittle. Caitlin Tootle visiting from South Australia. Drawn the 1 gate. Last couple of runs have been thirds behind Rising Sphere and Flying Annie. So that's pretty good form for a race like this. And in for third, number 3, Influential Jack. He's had a freshen up since last racing on Cup Day. Gary Clark, Jared Todd, the combination, that combo's in good form, and never goes a bad race, Influential Jack. So numbers in the third are 11, 2 and 3. We go to the fourth, the Terranty Off the Track Handicap over the 1200 for the 58 gallopers. My numbers are 1, 2 and 4. A Stern Magic on top for me, Sonia Logan. She could be in for a decent day, Sonia. A Stern Magic trained by her husband, Tom. 2 runs in Darwin for 2 fourth placings. They were during the carnival behind Little Wonder and Dummy Spit. I thought this was a winnable race for number 1, A Stern Magic. In for second, number 2, Ariane from the Neil Dyer stable. James doing the business up here, James Dyer for his father, and they've been having good success as well. Stan Sakos takes them out here on Ariane. Consistent Mia, 3 seconds her last 3, and prior to that was a winner on the 31st of July, so during the carnival. So she's racing really well. Her last start, second behind Extreme Emotion, was good on the 21st of September. And then for third, number 4, She Can Mix It. Chloe Baxter trains. Jared Todd aboard. Drawn awkwardly. That's the only bugbear or the only downside of She Can Mix Its chances. But racing well enough, if it can get a place from that awkward barrier draw, can be there at the finish. So numbers in the 4th are 1, 2 and 4. The 5th is the Sportsbet Trobus 3-year-old and maiden plate. This over the 1100 metres. This is a hybrid race. This is for 3-year-olds and for horses that are still maiden. So you could have a 6-year-old maiden in this race, and you could have a 3-year-old that might have won 2 or 3 races. We haven't got that, but we do have 3 3-year-olds, and we do have a couple of older horses going around here. We do have a winner in this race, and it is a 3-year-old, and it is Dancer for Money, a newcomer to the Phil Cole stable. Dakota Gillette in the saddle. Won its first start, did Dancer for Money at Geelong, and that was on the 19th of January this year. Then ran in the Blue Diamond Prelude, would you believe, behind Hayasugi, who went on and won the Blue Diamond. Was beaten 8 lengths on that occasion, and then had one further start on a wet track, and now in the stable of Phil Cole. As it's the only winner in the race, got to put it on top. So number 5 for me, Dancer for Money, ahead of 2 Hotham English. A lot better run last time for Ella Clark, and Aaron Sweeney takes them out here. That was a second behind Nike, beaten a length. Nike's come out and raced well again since. And then for third, number 1, Crypto Charmer, a newcomer for the Chris Pollard stable. Adam Nichols in the saddle. This is a first starter. It's a maiden. It's a 4-year-old. And in this little hybrid field, keep an eye on Crypto Charmer. So numbers in the 5th are 5, 2 and 1. And the last is the feature, and a really good race too, the Melbourne Cup Day on the 5th of November handicap. Not far away, of course, to Melbourne Cup Day. And this is the benchmark event, or the average benchmark, and it's an average benchmark 77. So it's a high rating race and a really, really good field with some, some top grade gallopers going around here, including the Palmerston Sprint winner from this year, an Early Crow. But my numbers are 3, 6 and 1. I'm going with Rising Sphere. Looking for 3 on the bounce, Rising Sphere. Of course, 1 on Cup Day here in the Lightning. Then 1 again on the 31st of August for Gary Clark, and Jared Todd takes them out this time. He hasn't been aboard for a little while. Carlian Heffel won on Cup Day and Janis Luxemon last time. But Jared back aboard and racing well. Rising Sphere obviously looking for 3 in a row, and I've got it on top. To beat the stablemate Flying Annie, Stan Sakos aboard for Gary. Last up winner here on the 14th of September. She's a pretty good mare this. She won the Queen of the Desert in Alice during the Carnival earlier this year, and she raced with credit through the Carnival in Darwin. Got her in to run second. And then for third, number 1, Early Crow, who I mentioned earlier. Trained by Dick Leach. Good to see Dick back with runners this week. Of course, he's had a bit of an enforced layoff, Dick, but he's back. And Lek Maloney visits from Alice Springs. Claims the 2 kilos here on Early Crow, so takes the horse's weight down to 60.5. He's won his last 2, won the weight for age during the Carnival, and then the Palmerston, his second Palmerston in a row. So he's high quality, as we know. Numbers in the last, 3, 6 and 1. Best bet of the day in race 5, number 5, Dancer for Money, just by virtue of having a win on the board up against a field of non-winners. I think Dancer for Money will be winning again for Phil Cole. Well, the best roughies in the first, race 1, number 2, Plague Stone. Race 1, number 2, Plague Stone. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk. We'll be back in a fortnight's time for our next meeting here at HQ. That's Caulfield Cup Day, and until then, good luck and good punting.